Welcome back to the Pitch Pod. I'm Jeff Stebbins, and today myself and Joe Janner are going to review the FIFA Club World Cup and give you our opinions on it. And I'll admit, initially, I was a little bit skeptical about the tournament. Was this an opportunity to just pocket some extra money while some stars are still playing was kind of what I was thinking. But as I got into it and started watching some of the matches and seeing, how much players cared, despite the fact that this wasn't a quote-unquote prestigious tournament or a classical tournament for that matter, I was pretty impressed. And it's also something that in the United States, as a fan, you don't get to see that level of play in person. And so for families being able to go and watch these world-class players up close and personal at fairly reasonable prices, I think it was well done. I think that the fact that you didn't have to pay to watch also was a benefit. I really like how it was broadcasted in the sense that you just sign up and you get a login and watch the game. No apps, no additional requirements or certain types of streaming networks required. It was free and available to the public. So I think that was a real benefit of the tournament as well. Overall, again, well done. It was an opportunity for people across the U.S. to see these stars up close in person, and it was fun. It was a good distraction, and overall, I think FIFA did a good job of putting it on, and it serves as a necessary test run for the upcoming World Cup 2026, which of course is happening in North America. And so that test run, I think, makes sense, especially after the previous hiccups or mistakes, if you will, throughout Copa previously. So overall, again, well done. And I don't know how many years in a row it's going to be done. I don't know how many clubs are coming back to it in the future. But I think that they did have a pretty good mix of clubs from around the world. They could expand it more. I do think that's one thing they could do to help. But overall, it was fun to watch, and hopefully they do continue to do it in future years. Yep. Now for Joe's take.
The FIFA Club World Cup final, Chelsea versus PSG. Looking at this as an exciting opportunity to see of the participants in this competition who is the best. We've seen a lot of decent games, some okay, some whatever. Nonetheless, we're looking forward to the final, as is two top-tier clubs. Chelsea, who maybe really has worked their way up and improved as this tournament going in, really then against the PSG side that's been dominant throughout there. So I think that's part of the allure to this final, is that we're seeing once again a PSG side that's very dominant. They beat a Real Madrid in a semifinal 4-0. You're seeing a Chelsea that maybe didn't start the tournament firing all cylinders, but has consistently improved as they got better. And I've seen that in all levels be a recipe for success. So I'm looking forward to the final. I think, though, all things considered, really what you're going to see is PSG continue to dominate and win this final in a fashion. Probably, 2-1 is probably a conservative estimate, but I don't know why they couldn't get 3. Maybe a 3-2. I'm gonna go with PSG winning this 3-2. Maybe even late to be determined.
Thank you, Joe, for your take. And now to talk about the two teams that made it to the final. Chelsea of the Premier League, coming off a pretty good season for them after a couple previous seasons of struggling, and they finished at the north end of the table this season after spending lots of money these previous couple years. So they're finally in a better position and have some team leadership. Now, on the other side, you have PSG. They are the dominant force in football, soccer at this current time. They're kind of like the Manchester City, if you will, of football this year. They won their own league, of course, as expected. They won the Champions League in dominant fashion, led by Dembele and others, Hakimi. Now, they're looking to win the FIFA Club World Cup tournament, and I think that they have a pretty good chance as they are led, as I said, by some really dynamic players, especially Dembele up top. I think he is someone who doesn't get enough credit, but is a world-class player and has led his team to some awfully impressive victories throughout the year. I expect their formations to be pretty similar in this as both squads come out, but I got to say PSG, they're the favorites for a reason. Yes, Chelsea has Cole Palmer. Yes, they have the ability to score, but they also have the ability to give up goals, and that's where I think this is a little bit lopsided. I think PSG overall is just a more talented team and ultimately will win this match. I don't think it's going to be a huge blowout like what they did against Real Madrid, 4-0. I don't see that happening, but I do think they will win with several goals in the back of the net. So my prediction for this one is going to be a 3-1 victory for PSG, and they're going to win the FIFA Club World Cup. So that's what I see happening in this one. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and listening. If you get a chance, please hit that like and that subscribe. It would mean a lot. And as always, till next time.